sitting on my truck waiting for them to show up. This black guy comes walking by. And he goes, "You in the contest?" I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh, cool." And he holds out this card. He goes, "I work for Dr. Scholl's. I know we got a booth and we're going to be setting up shoe stuff. And we'd love to sponsor some surfers. And is there any way I can see your foot?" And I was like, "Sure." I'm sitting on the back of the truck. I'm like, "Check my foot out." And so he's looking at my foot. He's like, "Oh yeah, slender and neat." And "Oh yeah." And he's pushing like this. I'm like, "Yeah, cool. Huh? You like it?" He goes, "I think we can hook you up." And then he just starts going, and like licking the bottom of my foot. And I was like,
How's it? You know the rules. Aloha. Best surfer in the world, Sterling Spencer, and Cousin Ryan presents Pinch My Salt.
Well, they're cloning people. I don't know if you know that.
I bet they are.
No, it's real.
I bet they are.
No, Kanye, I want everyone to know, I believe that Kanye was cloned. He's gone, and that's his clone. It's not the same human.
Really?
Look into that. That's some real truth.
What do you think, Sterling?
I'm not there yet, but
Kanye's gone.
Yancey's been talking about UFOs for like 30 years, and I thought he was crazy. And then now I just watched this video called Skywatchers, and it's very educated humans talking about stuff they see in the sky. I'm like, Yancey has been talking about jellyfish in the sky for 30 years.
He was right.
Well,
And the main UFO they see is a jellyfish.
and that's the deal about even science will tell you some sort of proton comes through the atmosphere, lands on a coral reef, grows, shoots off the coral reef, and turns into a box jellyfish. It has no eyes or brain, but it has a blueprint of what it's supposed to do and how it fishes and hunts. So that right there is an alien.
Yeah.
Period. That's where I said
A water alien.
We have alien.
Jellyfish are aliens?
Yes.
Dang.
Newsflash.
And,
You heard it here first.
And so then you go down the trail of there could be underwater bases and the lights but
Underwater babes?
bases with
Oh,
babes.
Babe, jellyfish babes.
But I did see a one of the satellite.
You've seen a lot of UFOs, right?
I'm in 2 books for alien sightings.
You're in two books?
books?
Can we name those books?
I was young. I was, I can tell you the story. I'd look like a red wagon in the sky, and then they sent a guy. My friend was into UFOs, and he had the UFO hotline number on his refrigerator. It's called MUFON or something.
It was MUFON.
So he called MUFON, and then
Is this MUFON?
and so I was like,
It's all an alien.
so I was like, let's go. We're going to go to the park and play baseball. And he's
At
like,
night?
no, they're sending someone over. And I was like, who's sending? They're just sending a guy to talk to us. So we waited around the yard for like hours, and then I was over it. I like threw my glove down. I was like, I'm leaving. And all of a sudden, this old RV comes reeking around the cul-de-sac and pulls.
MUFON.
He pulls right up, and there's RV parked there. The door opens. There's this tall guy with white bowl cut, look like Spock. And he's got a briefcase in his hand. He comes walking down, and he goes, "Boys, I'd like to talk to you." And so he took us in the house. I mean, of course,
You went in his van?
no, we went into the house, but of course, now you look back,
I got some candy in my van.
creepy tall white guy taking 2 kids in the house. I mean, a neighbor should have called, but no one
That's
did.
crazy.
So he sat us
Did
on
he
the
show you his
It's
jellyfish?
like Men in Black.
he sat us down on the couch, and he took his briefcase and opened it up and put up this 3D chess set thing with all the layers of the intergalactic force, and explained to us how and when and this.
And this is in Gulf Breeze.
It's in Gulf Breeze, Florida.
And how old are you?
I was probably 14, maybe 15. So
What? This is insane.
So then he tells us, he goes, okay, well, here's who they've contacted and how they're going to basically program or initiate themselves into the psyches of the humans at this point in time, which I guess
This is Men in Black.
they've been around. I was, a long time ago, but he basically said that Steven Spielberg was, gave the script of E.T. so that we would all
Get used to it.
become fond of it, so we wouldn't be afraid. Yeah. So and then I think E.T. had just come out, so we sat there with blank stares on our face as he rolled up the carpet and left town.
Dude, this is gnarly.
It was the 80s.
Chip would say there would be hundreds of sightings every year.
Well,
in Gulf Breeze.
we would see crazy sightings. Like one time we saw this light, it would go up and change colors and go higher and change colors and then just disappear.
Dude.
I mean, it was a daily freak out.
Well, it's just so weird. Like, Chip is like one of the most normal people you'll ever be around.
Yeah.
It's like his brain is as strong as his thighs.
Mhm.
And for him to believe this stuff,
Well,
Like he's a firm believer. And so like from you,
yeah.
it was harder for me to believe.
Oh.
Just
well, see,
because
I went goofy with it because I was like, oh, our team mascot at the Gulf Breeze, we're the Gulf Breeze Dolphins, and dolphins are the smartest mammals on Earth, and they have sonar, and now the aliens are here to let the dolphins tell us that the jellyfish are aliens. So I would go off on these tangents about aliens.
Your
and
ADD took over. It was like,
Well, I mean, I'm out there talking to dolphins, like, tell them I said hello.
welcome to Earth.
And listen to our town, Gulf Breeze. I mean, why wouldn't the aliens come here? What the hell is in Gulf Breeze?
Sounds nice.
I was so embarrassed when I go surf contests on the
when
East
I met my
Coast.
first alien, I was so embarrassed.
No, when I go surf contests on the East Coast, and right next to your name, they'd put the town you're from, and I'm like, don't tell them Gulf Breeze.
Do you ever talk to Jellyfish?
I got to be cooler than that.
Man, if you would have had TikTok
Well,
back then,
how about
the
this?
stuff you've been saying.
So the best thing for memory, have you seen that commercial, Pregigen or whatever it is from the ingredients of jellyfish.
Oh.
And then you go and look, it's like an $80 bottle to help memory and old people, and it has one ingredient on it. You're like,
Jellyfish.
and you're like, where did they get that? From jellyfish? You're like, huh?
Dang,
What?
I'll never look
And
at
then
Jellyfish.
you get SpongeBob. He's always jellyfish, and there's something going on with SpongeBob and jellyfish. And I'm just saying,
Guys,
watch-
Yancy hasn't had lunch today.
watch a few of those episodes.
Whoa.
Just tune in to SpongeBob.
Woo, that was really funny, Yancy. But we're going to jump into
Dude,
pinch my
Yancy's
clothes.
crazy right
Dude,
now.
Yancy's crazy.
He had to go use the bathroom.
He has a massive poo. Dude, you shaved
Yeah, shaved real quick.
during the episode?
I like to shave for pinch my clips part
Oh, to be fresh.
because my beard, it grows out so fast.
Dude. Whew. All right, guys. It's West Peak time.
Let's snap into a West Peak and
clip these pinches.
do you want to clip these pinches?
Let's do it.
Ooh, is this Kai Lenny's new jetpack?
What's he looking for?
I guess Laird lost one of his cock rings in the last swell. And Kai Lenny's like, don't worry,
I'll do it.
I'll find it.
I thought that was Mark Healy.
I guess Mark Healy's a part of the search too.
These the Iron Boys?
What is this? Is this old Bruce footage? Dude, look how gnarly Bruce was. This is when he couldn't get on tour and he was surfing like better than everyone. But he was almost like, too gnarly, dude. Look at this air. It's like 10-foot reverse. Look at his perfect style.
Dang.
Bruce was the first since Tom Curran to be able to translate Curran's style into modern day shortboarding.
Not Andy?
Andy was a little more discombobulated. They called him raw irons.
Right.
Play it again. Bruce was like the reincarnation of Curran, but in air form. Like Bruce had perfect technique. Like his arms and just like hands. He had one of the most perfect styles. On a modern day 3-fin shortboard, it's really hard to have good style.
Really?
Because it moves around so fast.
It's so waka waka waka.
Everything's perfect. He's never like out of like,
Dude.
They call him creepy fingers.
When you do something wrong.
They called Bruce creepy fingers because he had these long creepy fingers. When he lands stuff, he'll go like this.
I like jazz hands.
Yeah, jazz fingers.
Dude, is that Wyatt?
Whoa. Is this how I could have gotten Wyatt to surf?
Yeah, just put him on a scrying mic.
Do you have to be in your underwear? Look at that.
Dude, he's looking up the lip.
Dude, he's in a gnarly skeleton bay barrel.
Dude.
Look at that. He's parallel. He's dropping the knee.
He's dropping knees. Dude.
Look at the style.
What's he wearing?
He's already wearing a helmet.
And a face mask. Dude. I wonder if he's feeling
Pretty
that
good
bad.
style. Maybe put his arm out a little bit.
Yeah. He hits the TV. Doink. Yeah, dude. Maybe that's the way we can get our kids to surf.
Virtual reality. That's actually a good idea.
Virtual reality surfing.
Virtual reality. Surfboard, dude. So you remember everyone that got mad at us for the localism video?
Yeah, there's thousands of
I
comments.
found all the people doing the comments.
These are the
Yeah,
commenters?
these are the commenters.
The ocean's for everyone.
You can't own the ocean.
You can't own. It's not private property. It's all for us, all of us. Oh, look how much fun we're having now. There's no more localism. Now there's no locals. We can actually surf.
You're right, dude.
You know what? Dude,
What?
you know in The Lion King,
Yeah?
when Scar and the hyenas, Like he's like, I'll be king,
Yeah.
and y'all can eat as much as you want.
Yeah.
And then when that happened, it ruined the lineup.
Yep.
It's the same thing.
They need to rewatch
There
it.
needs to be core lord lions
Yeah.
ahead of the pack.
And the
It keeps
hyenas are the
order.
kooks.
Hyenas are soft toppers, dude.
Yeah.
They just want everything. Like, we don't care about culture. We just want views. We just want likes.
Likes and yes.
We want to be famous because that brings happiness.
It's true though.
Does it?
Does it?
I feel like the only good thing that comes from fame is chicks.
And maybe like free meals.
Yeah.
Of course I
But that's the only, I would say that's the only thing fame brings.
really. Chicks and meals.
Worth it. Chicks and meals.
You said soft tops. Dude, one day you're gonna hit that JS.
You're right.
Uh-oh, Gabriel's Medinaing.
Here we go.
Is it just his culture? Dude, there he is.
Dude, remember what I said about him and Idolo?
I know.
Bunking up. This
Yeah.
is what he does with his bros.
Maybe these are his cousins or something. What the frick?
Look at this boogie boarder, dude.
Dude,
He's surfing on it. And watch how hard he shreds.
why?
Is this the future of surfing?
Just don't surf?
No, maybe boogie board is like the new surfboard.
It's just it's a small soft top.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Maybe they can make a hard top boogie board. He's got to have fins on that thing.
You think there's fins?
For sure. Can you?
He's hiding them good if he... Oh, maybe there.
There's got to be.
Well, look at this last schwack, dude, coming up.
There's got to be.
There's got to be fins.
There's got to be, because the way he would, if there was actually no fins, he'd have to be on his rails so much more.
Well, he would have slid out. He would have been shrink. He
Yeah.
would have skimboarded out of there.
I really think shortboards could be maybe even smaller.
Really? Like skimboards?
Well, like boogie boards.
Right, true. Uh-oh. Your boy Jordy.
I don't know. I woke up last night just mad squirts, to be honest.
What'd he say?
Mad squirts.
No, the other stuff.
He woke up last night with mad squirts,
To be honest.
to be honest.
So why would he share that in an interview? These
Dude.
Australians are gnarly, man.
He's South African.
I mean, South Africans are gnarly.
I need to put together a pro surfing
Yeah.
book where you study who's a pro server, what they've done.
What country they're from.
Because right now, you know, Aki,
Steve Kerr.
Jordy, Kelly.
No, let me
Laird.
list. Jordy.
Do you know 10 pro servers?
Yeah, let's try. Jordy Smith. Does Tonino count? Okay, Jordy Smith, Laird Hamilton. No, he's not even a pro surfer, is he?
Yes. You're
All right.
fine.
Jordy, nervous. Jordy Smith, Mark Akalupo, Andy Irons, Bruce Irons, Kelly Slater. Hold on. Kalohe, Kalani.
Uh-oh.
Wait. Hold on. Just wait. I can cut this to make me look smarter. There's Shane Dorian, friggin' Griffin Calapento, and
Can you get past 10?
I'm at 9 right now. And then Italo Ferreira, Ethan Ewing, John Florence.
He's going off.
Nathan Florence.
Jeez.
That's enough. All right, so
All right. Maybe I was proven wrong.
That was pretty hard, actually. And one girl I know well, Alana Blanchard, Bethany Hamilton, Simmers,
Sammer?
Anthony Simmers or something. I don't remember.
Anthony Sammers?
She has a last name like Simmers or something. Approximately 81% of all surfers competing under the WSL leagues are likely losing money competing, especially in the Challenger, blah, blah, blah.
So 80% of the servers are losing money.
Because of the travel and everything?
I think what that weird meme was saying,
No, it's so creepy.
80% of men who call themselves pro servers aren't making money.
Because there's no money.
Because there's no money.
There's no money in surfing.
What's funny, like, people always throw around, like, their pro server. And it's like, there's no official, we need to make an official
Right.
pro surfer thing.
Well, it used to be very obvious if you're like a pro surfer. It was just but now it's so YouTubey.
Well, how much money do you need to make to be called pro? Like if you make $100 1 month,
Yeah.
is that really being pro?
I could be called a pro surfer.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I have a surf podcast and I get paid to do it.
you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think?
I mean, you could technically say that you need to be on tour if you want to make it real simple.
Well, then it's like,
That means Rob Machado and you guys aren't pro surfers.
well, in the skate world,
True.
the pros are the ones that don't do the contest. The
That's
biggest pros.
Right. There's tons of pros
So
that aren't.
skating and surfing are very similar.
It's true.
So what in the skate world, what makes a pro skater?
I mean, you're sponsored. You're putting out video parts. You're on a team.
Isn't
like
it when you get a
Adidas.
deck?
That's true.
Isn't
Yeah.
that like the official?
You're welcome
you
to-
turned pro.
Yeah. You're on Birdhouse.
And that's what the problem is. Like, does a guy have his own surfboard model?
Do surfers have teams?
We used to.
They used to be like, I'm on the Billabong team. I'm on the
Yeah.
Von Zipper team.
Now it's like if your parents are rich enough
You're a pro
and
surfer.
and they send you around the world,
Hmm.
and then those guys on Instagram they tell the chicks they're
Yeah.
pro, and there's kind of this weird like subculture, like rich kid pro surfer, and then they have rich groupie girl
Mm.
following them, and it's
Yeah.
kind of this weird world where no one's actually making money. It's just nepo children's.
It's a good point. We got to figure that out. What does it mean to be a pro surfer these days?
Well, I want you know how I'm kind of like the new pope of surfing.
Yeah.
I kind of want to like write a surfing Bible,
Let's do it. Yeah, just
or
call
maybe
it
it's not the Bible, but like these are the official rules.
Surfing Rules in 2025. Dude, look at this guy.
Jeez, look at this Corky.
This Corky. Dude.
He's not even paying attention. That's all. He's like, all right. Look at him. He's like, oh, look at that crack. Hey, what's up?
God, isn't this bad
Just
for its
cruising.
bones?
He's bad to the bones.
Look, he looked at the camera guy. Did you get that?
Nailed it. Hey, can you not film up my butt?
Whoa.
He's not even
Dude.
paying attention.
Dude, there's scooters.
Motorcycle went by him. He's like, don't worry about it. I ride here all the time.
Dude.
What's up? Not many chicks around here today. Let me. Dude, these scooters.
Whoa.
They're not even supposed to be on the right side. They're supposed to stay on the left. Anyways, don't see any.
Oh, I love how he waddles off. Ooh, another dog. Oh, a skimboid
We got a
dog.
skim dog.
Look.
Be
Floater.
honest. Is this dog better at skimming than you?
No, I could destroy this
Really?
dog. Oh, frick. Yeah, dude.
Are you kidding me?
That little wave right there, I could have done a shove it.
What?
Yeah, dude. I went skimming the other day.
And you're crushing.
No, not really. But I used to
wanna
throw
see
some.
this.
I used to throw some spray on my skimmy.
I do kind of remember you kind of ripping.
I remember thinking I was a good skimboarder, and then you showed up, and you were like doing this weird monkey crawl thing, and it was
and then I
annoying.
blew y'all's mind.
was
I was
annoying.
doing like huge air reverses.
Yeah, and I was like, screw you.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god.
I'm drinking punch. What you got,
Palomskis.
dude? Paloma, mate.
I feel like I'm at Steamer Lane
Where's that?
in Santa Cruz.
Oh, I remember that place. Steamer Lane.
I guess every West Peak comes with like a sparkling spirit from Steamer Lane.
Really?
Yeah, they put in a Core Lord spirit in each drink, so you get the Maximus Core Lord levelness.
And you can order it on drinkwestpeak.com.
Is that where you?
Anywhere, and it can come right to your house.
Why isn't everyone ordering these?
Dude, a lot of people are.
Can't they get 20% off?
They can get 20% off on this organic with real juice, amazing sparkling spirit.
Oh my gosh.
By typing in Pinch My Salt. They go to drinkwestpeak.com and they can experience what we're experiencing right now.
Mine has a hint of ruby red grapefruit and sea salt.
Sea salt. Can you taste it?
Yeah. I was wondering why I felt the ocean spray.
Ooh.
It's
West Peak's doing it right. Seriously.
they really are.
Guys, go to drinkwestpeak.com and type in Pinch My Salt to get 20% off. Send us a video of you drinking it. Bye-bye. All right, we're back, baby.
Should we start with the Ben Gravy stuff?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
They'll fire us up.
I'm hangry. I haven't eaten. I didn't read it
Well,
in the
did
comments.
you hear what they said about
No,
it?
I didn't hear it.
I don't feel like you said anything that bad.
All right, guys, give it some context. Basically, last episode, Yancey was with us.
I didn't.
I think Yancey did a good job. He was very respectful, and he gave his perspective and his opinion.
Well,
on
I
soft
asked Yancey,
tops.
why do you hate Ben Gravy?
Yeah, that's true.
Do you hate Ben Gravy?
I'm sure he's a nice guy.
So maybe
But
it's my fault.
I didn't say I hate him.
No, you did good.
Oh. Well, I mean, I just try to stick to the truth, and I can be honest with myself. I'm trying to learn to love others. So that's where I'm at now.
So you're trying to love him.
Well, I think if he was here, we would be in a loving.
Y'all could figure it out.
Yeah, but to stick to truth, where I can go to, the first time I ever
We
heard.
can't forgive him what he's done, though.
Well, I think we have a bias against New Jersey. I just don't think that we flow with the New Jersey type of mindset and the
So it's
mentality.
personal.
I don't know if it's personal. It's more territorial.
Like Florida versus New
yeah,
Jersey.
I mean, we went to New Jersey. Remember that?
Mhm.
We actually made a surf movie called Drive Through New Jersey.
That's what I meant in my last comment. I said, "Hey, they're just from a different world.
Right.
We're not familiar with this world they're from." And what I mean by that is, my friends try to open a new surf shop, which he did. And this is the first time I saw. I walk in and there's this giant poster of a guy holding a pineapple up, and I was like, Who's this goob? And he's like, no, he's great. I'm like, well, I've never heard of him. What's he great for? Oh, he's surfed every 50 states or something. I was like, that sounds like a gimmick. I was like, and then I didn't know. That's their mentality. It's kind of.
Well, I remember you were at the Surf Expo, and you Ben Gravy was signing autographs, and I remember you called me, almost crying.
Well,
You're like, who's this guy riding soft tops, pretending to be a pro surfer? This is against all the rules.
It was against the rules for me, thinking that someone should achieve
Well-
a wetsuit and a shoe line by achieving something, not doing
Well,
I didn't know-
you grew up in surf expos,
right.
and to be signing autographs at an expo, that means you were.
As long as I surfed, I didn't never think I was at a level where I could sign an autograph. I mean,
Well, you had to follow the rules to get to that level.
Yeah,
that means you were you're a pro surfer.
I only made
NBA player.
I was the
Right.
East Coast longboard champ in 2000, and to me, that wasn't even enough to
Right.
be anything. And so I guess I had a high standard of what you should be rewarded for.
Yeah.
But I didn't see the wave of gooberness coming with the soft tops. and I just say that because all right,
The wave of guru.
here's the same deal. When Jersey Shore came out and it was on MTV,
Right.
it blew my mind because I said, "Oh, this isn't
It
gonna
is
this isn't going to
gnarly.
take off." And millions of people worshipped Jersey Shore. So that's when I took a step back and went,
This isn't good.
I went, oh, this is a different world. I
Right,
said,
right, right.
I'm not from this world.
Right.
So
So-
you don't want to hate him.
I
No.
think that we would be friends. We'd get along. I just at first was so shocked that people would give someone a wetsuit line, a shoe line, his own board, and now everywhere I see a guy
Well,
carrying a board,
his
with
own soft top.
all of it. It just
It just wasn't from your perspective normal.
Well, I see. That's what I'm saying. I wasn't raised around. He probably has an
Right.
agent. His agent goes, "I got this kid. We're going places, and that's where they're from.
That's where they're from.
And I'm like, oh, I never made it because I only made it to an East Coast Longboard Championship status, which is,
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many pro servers that give their heart and soul to what we were raised in.
So you felt like it was hurting the pureness.
Well, my eyes weren't open enough to see where the world was and what they wanted, and so
Right.
I was kind of like, here. How about this? Like
You had the cord of sword in your hand.
Well, let's say I used to go to bars, right? And so if there was a bad comment at a bar, we went straight to the parking lot. Like it was like, no, this is no.
Snitches get stitches.
It was just if you made a stupid comment, like you're a pillow biter or something, out to the.
Ryan.
So I guess I say all that to say, I wasn't ready for even Facebook. When Facebook came out and I saw comments, the guy that called me a pillow biter. I went to mypillow.com, bought a pillow.
Was it an Aki pillow?
I drove to his town and I was going to make him eat the pillow. I was like, no, we don't comment like that. So
Right.
I wasn't, I was so blind to the fact of that there was a Jersey Shore world. There was
Right.
everyone could comment whatever they want and not be worried about being taken to the parking lot and just whooped.
Different
So you
worlds.
feel like you would have fought him.
I don't think I
back
would
in the
have
day.
fought him.
Not now.
Such an instigator.
Here's another incident. I'm checking the channels, I'm finding out someone told me this is Fire Stick. You can watch TV with it. So I'm like, okay, what's this? And so I find YouTube, and then I see 50-year storm, Pensacola Beach. I was like, radical. Someone documented it. So I went right to it, and it's him on a soft top surfing in the swimming area at my beach, and I'm like, what is going on? And
So you gave him a view.
No, I mean,
You gave him money.
he's videoing himself. Yeah, sure. I mean, he's videoing himself in the hotel I worked at and surfing in the wrong area and calling it a 50-year storm. And it was 2-foot wind chop. It wasn't even good surf. So I thought he's misrepresenting my town. So I got more mad. Then he came and he came and had a contest here and giving out money, and guys that I know that never rode a soft top were entering it to get the money. I'm like, you're being sucked into the vortex of soft top madness. And so
Dude,
I didn't go there.
It's kind of nuts.
It was nuts for me because I was at the same time coming into a new world, and he had already had a wetsuit line and a shoe line and a soft top line, and I'm like, but what did he do? And they're like,
It's like he tricked the surfer.
he surfed it's a gimmick. Sorry.
Well, do you think it's because like core lords are dying off and like
Sure.
the money is from kooks?
Well, it's a new world.
It's a new world.
That's what it is.
One thing he said his hero was Bam Margera.
Okay.
He said, my surfing is more based off my life experience, not so much emulating surfing. I'm from Pennsylvania. I grew up in a different world.
See, there it is.
That's what he said.
No, I get it. That's why I think we would be friends. And
A world of soft tops.
It's a different world.
And that's it. And then so me personally trying to not focus on myself as much as the future, I want to learn how to love people for who they are.
So
Right.
this is therapy.
We're
trying to bring y'all peace.
Hey, I give him props because I have been sucked into his YouTube stuff.
you have like a poster of him.
No, but
I got sucked in. I bought his poster.
no, one of our old good redhead friends
Redhead.
that surfs the East Coast took him to this private
Good old redhead friend.
Well, but anyway, he took him to this island and let him ride this beautiful Caribbean wave by himself. And I was like, man, I said, props to Ben. I mean, he gets to surf really cool stuff. And
Right.
But the only thing I've ever said wow about was that he made it. He made the drop,
Well,
or
it's
he
like-
made the barrel, and
Is it
it's
is
pretty
it a
cool.
double-edged sword? Like you get to a perfect wave and then you have to ride a soft top.
Yeah.
Like that's like
he's-
meeting a perfect girl and then you have to wear a condom.
He's getting to have a wonderful life experience and make money, and I give him respect for that.
He's in kook heaven.
The world's in kook heaven. The world's going down in kook heaven. The
Get
world. I mean, I'm scared to even leave my house now. It's like, what am I going to see today?
Well, I met Ben Gravy
Oh, cool.
in Hawaii when he was a kid.
Oh.
He came and stayed at the Billabong house.
I see. I didn't know he's around that long. We
from
love
Jersey.
you, Ben Gravy. We just aren't putting all the weight of the soft top revolution on you. It was just bad timing for me to
It's about me.
to see it all at a point.
Right.
I was probably going through a midlife crisis when it happened. Who knows?
Would you sell out like that? Be honest.
Well,
If you could make $100,000 a year
Right.
riding soft tops, you could go the best waves in the world, but you have to ride a soft top. Would you do it?
I don't think I could. And the reason I say that is I surfed today. I rode a 9.8 epoxy Ricky Carroll Retro 2. And I was so worried about my fin being too far back in certain parts of the wave that it bothered me.
Yeah.
So I drove home thinking about a different fin and how much more forward I was going to put it, and hoping the waves tomorrow might have that same angle so I can test a different fin out, because I'm so into equipment.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
the way it feels.
to me it's a song, and it's the surfboard is a guitar.
You're a purist.
Well, I just want to play along with the melody, and I want to get I'm a rocker, I guess. I want to get the most notes I can out of that melody.
Yeah.
You want to squeeze all the juice out of life.
And I just feel like when you have a soft top, you are basically got
It's a pool noodle.
what's that game they used to play?
Guitar Hero.
Right.
Yeah, so you're just guitar heroing.
He's a professional guitar hero
That's it.
out in the
And
ocean.
so I didn't expect Guitar Hero to come. Guitar Hero was a big deal.
Yeah.
Everyone loved it.
Post Malone started.
But it probably
playing
stopped about 1,000 people from learning guitar because they're like, oh, I already had fun doing it.
Well, Post Malone, that's how he learned how to play guitar.
We're not going to talk about Post Malone. He is a moron.
Okay, so here's what
ruined music, and
Okay.
sold his soul to the devil. The guy is stupid. Anyone you see on one of those Cane
Get 'em.
chicken commercials,
Yeah, dude.
they're gone.
They're
They have
gone.
sold the soul. If you're next to Flavor Flav on a Cane's commercial, goodbye.
I said the wrong
And
word.
here's what I'm saying. When I was younger, I actually prayed to the devil and said, "Oh, for fame and fortune, I'd give you my soul." And I said that. And
Is that when
what-
you fought Limp Bizkit?
no, that was when I was young. I mean, I wanted to be something, so I said that to the devil. Yeah, I'll sell
dude.
my soul for fame and fortune. Why not? Because my girlfriend
He
didn't like.
hands you a soft top.
You're like, no. If he would have hit me at the right time,
Yeah.
but
So do you
honestly,
think that's what happened with Ben?
I don't know about what happened to Ben. I just think that he wanted to be in the club somehow, and I think
The devil came to him with
well,
a
that's-
Pegasus soft top.
he offers you the world. If you want the world, he'll give it to you. But it's called praise.
Hold
And ooh, and so here's the deal about praise. Okay, all right. Why did Kelly Slater stay on the tour so long? The wow factor. He likes
Right.
for people to say wow. I like people to say wow. Everyone wants someone to say wow about them.
Right.
Wow's just another word for praise. If you're taking praise, you're going down a road.
That's why you were on the stripper pole.
Well, I wanted just to prove everyone I could do anything at any time, and
Right.
I was the
Right.
best.
We all have that.
Right. So that's ego, that's pride, and I lived off ego and pride, and that led me to the alcoholism that basically destroyed my body and mind. Luckily, in rehab, I learned to confess my
back.
sins, and that's what a lot of people have problems with, is just saying, "Hey, I failed,
I
I've
was
sinned,
wrong."
I've lied," and that's every day. So that's the cool part about ruining your life.
Yeah.
Now,
Like you can still grow from it.
you can go from now. What happened when I did pray to the devil and ask for fame and fortune? Anytime fame and fortune came my way, I got scared because I went, "Oh no,
is this the devil?
Oh no, I've done it now." And that's it's
When you're on an MTV.
yeah. And I
with
thought
Jenny McCarthy.
I thought I was going down the water slide right
Straight
to
to
the
hell.
gate. Wee-hoo.
Dang. Well, one other thing Ben Gravy said, he said, this is him talking about how he watched the podcast of you two.
Cool.
Ben Gravy said, I watched it and I said, dang, these guys are kind of brutal. But then I was thinking, I've never even cared about the box. I don't live in the box. It's not even real to me. None of what they said is real to me. I took that as an invitation to come on the podcast.
All right, that's cool. I get it. I've seen enough of him to know he's pretty sincere. And
Well, and I think what you said really hit home is that he's from a different world.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of a wuss and not a core lord like you guys. So in my brain, I'm like, it's like a guy from like Germany coming. Like he's a totally different culture, right?
I'm just
Right.
not sure because I remember him. I remember surfing with him and NSSAs and his.
So you think it's not true?
well, here's the deal.
I think he feels a little. There is some. I feel like there's got to be some surf core lord in him
yes.
yeah.
where there is a tear in his eye. Like it has to be like because we all grew up. You know, ESM. Everything was like you got to get the 2-page spread. Like it was so core.
If you're not going
I mean,
to the events,
should we pray for him?
No,
Not to the devil.
I think he's been touched by an angel. I mean, he's been blessed.
dark angel.
Well, Waterboys
The
made
soft angel.
Waterboys made him a board, a hard board, and he wrote it.
Wow.
Yeah, he got into hard
Wow.
boards, but
He really made
anyway,
it.
let's back it. Let's back it up.
Back it
and
up.
bake it down, and let's
Let's bake it down.
here's the deal. Let's say we're rockers, okay, and we like Metallica, we like Ozzy Osbourne, we
right.
like Judas Priest, we like rock and roll, and so then all of a sudden there's another band that tries to
Call
you
the
know,
Foo Fighters
yeah, or
or the Stardust.
whatever they're
The
called.
many hoonies.
But they're just different.
Yeah.
And that's what I said in the first one. I said he's just different. He's a different type of rocker that was probably pushed by a manager or an agent to say, I'm going to get you the house that you want and the car and the girl, and that's what everyone's after.
So is it selling out though?
Well,
Because is that what life is about?
that's what I'm at the point.
Like when we were surfing the other day, would you let me ride your mid leagues? Dude, that was the purest. We were
trading boards.
I mean, we were riding those boards and it was long, glassy offshore. And like, I felt so lucky that like my dad handed or just showed the way.
Yeah. And
Like we're riding these core boards and like just feeling the rails and there's no connection like it.
Right. And that's why I
It's
thought
ancient. It feels like straight from the Duke. I think that's the feeling. Like the
glide.
Duke handed this down to us, and we're keeping it sacred.
Well, I'm into the fins now, and the fins are the engine, and the bottom contour between the fins are the engine. So I've taken it to the NASCAR level to where I want the lightest, strongest, most torque I can get out of fins and tails and bottom design. So I'm all about really feeling that part.
Mm-hmm.
So I like feelings. So the feeling you're feeling when we surfed was just a beautiful, free feeling of good boards.
Of just and newness. Because every board, you can change one thing, and it's a whole new universe on the wave.
Yeah, and
Like a whole, like it's crazy. Like you can ride a different board the rest of your life, and it's like how I never knew my brain could feel this.
well, see, I met a guy in Tavarua who said he could get me a job at Kelly Slater's wave pool in where's it called? Dubai.
Yeah,
Dubai. Yeah, sorry, I got to do more
Abu
research.
Dhabi.
Whatever.
So the only thing I could think of is how many different boards I could ride because it's the same wave. And I'm like, that's endless. Like
Endless
because the
feelings.
problem with us is we get our equipment dialed in and we move into a new season and the energy and the waves different, the swell pattern's different, the fetch is different, the wind's different. So you have to switch to a different type of board.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
having 4 seasons, you have to have almost 4 quivers to ride from knee high to chest high. We have so many different variations of that.
And these waves are sent by God.
The creator.
Do you think the wave pool, it feels different? Because it's not from God's breath?
Yeah, it's more like synthesized,
Yeah.
synthetic.
Yeah, it's synthetic wave.
Synthetic.
One other
It's
thing
already
they
there.
said is they want to settle this on a surf off.
Ooh,
So
Yes.
Zeke and
Ben,
Well, it's got to be on twin fins.
fly us to your island, wherever it is,
I don't
whatever island you're at now,
They have to ride actual core boards, though.
okay.
and we have to ride soft tops.
That would be awesome. I think that one
I
thought
think
is
we
that
would win.
like core lords, like I think people see that and they think like, who are they to tell me what I should do? I think there's a little bit of
Well,
that.
let's just change core lore to rocker. We're just rockers. We're not trying. We're not.
I like
if
that.
you can't rock hard, then rock away. you
Well,
know?
we're freaking Native American. We're native surfers. Like this has been handed to us from the spiritual realm. So it's like, okay, you know, it's not that we think we're above you. Like this was sent from God. So
Well,
like,
being in the spiritual realm, like I was saying, there's multiple heavens, and when I see creation itself, when I see the sparkle of the sun on the water, or I feel the wind, or I mean, I love water, and I love
Yeah.
water because there's just something spiritual about it, like you're saying. But it taps to the Creator, and you can once you get to that level of nature has so much love in it, then you do feel that spiritual bond of or that gift
Yeah.
compared to if you were raised in the Afghani mountains and you know all you watch were goats, you'd have a slimmer side of.
here's this question.
Okay.
Would you rather be rich and you can never go to the ocean again? Or would you rather be poor and go to the ocean forever?
I'm gonna stay where I'm at, poor ocean.
I truly think there's a enlightenment path in surfing.
Yeah, it's the nature.
Like I really feel like if you're a true surfer, you've tasted it and you know it's you know like that's your North Star.
And then
And there's no money to it.
Mm-mm.
Like the money thing is kind of like earlier in your life where you want to be praised and
well, you're programmed too, and you want the praise. Yeah,
you're hardwired.
you want the wow.
Hardwired.
You want to be hardwired to be accepted and
Right.
loved.
I think we all have to defeat the ego in our surfing too.
And that's what happens. I can be out there preaching to whoever, saying, "Oh man, this is the most beautiful day God has made, and the clouds and the sun and the weather. What a blessing!" And then a drone shows up, and I'm like, "I gotta get a good ride. I've got to be on the drone. Where's he at? Where's my ride at?"
Your ego takes
So I
over.
went from surfing for God to surfing for the drone in about 2 seconds.
Still have to look up.
We've all been sucked into it. You can hear it right above you.
Is that a
Did I get
photographer?
my gnarly tune?
Remember?
And it's some fat kid in a van. Just,
Hey, watch it.
Hey, we're not talking
hey,
about
those
you.
are my people.
Ryan. Ryan, are you filming us tomorrow?
I'll do it. Do we want to ask him about the local stuff? Because we just had a video go viral, and we're
what's your opinion?
we're
on
getting
this?
raked over the coals, and people are mad at us.
Can we show them the video?
Cut to the clip?
Why do you have to be so hostile? No, we're not showing our foreigners, okay? You're not allowed to surf here. You're only locals here. Okay, you must go now, right now.
I mean, he's got a GoPro.
Yeah, turn off the GoPro, dork.
Whoa, okay. Are you going on it? Yes, I'm going. You're going right now. I'm going right now. Yes, you off now. Okay. Whoa.
This is probably a super secret, like, special wave. It's like, oh, I'm going to go out with my GoPro.
And then look at him.
Here we go.
He's still in youth group. I mean, don't touch him.
He probably shouldn't have touched him, but I mean, he didn't beat him up.
The first thing I got to say for this is that's happening on bike trails. That's happening on hiking trails.
With, like,
Basketball
electric
courts.
bikes.
This is just where the world, that's the temperature of the world where road rage is mental. I mean, so that's road rage. That's a hiker that doesn't want another hiker on his trail. So, don't take it too personally that we're just putting it in the surfing world, that localism used to be a thing.
He's an extreme
Well, that's
part of
probably
it.
an extreme place. They're probably under extreme views, so that's what I'm learning. You can't really judge anyone because, someone raced past me on the bridge today and I almost snapped. And I said, you know what? 12 years ago, that was me probably drinking and listening to gangster rap, just hauling.
Biscuit.
Yeah, so you don't know where people are at mentally.
Right.
That guy is basically probably losing his business. His truck has a flat tire.
Oh, yeah.
His fins don't work, and then the last thing he wants to see is a waddling paddler with a GoPro in his mouth,
about to blow up.
And you can't help a person with a GoPro in their mouth. I've realized that there's no getting through to them. It's like an electric foiler. You can't explain to them that what they're doing is retarded, but. You just got to let them glide around and act like they're free and happy. And that's them. And that's the hardest part and maybe that's part of the awakening I'm talking about is a lot of people are waking up and saying, hey, I got to stay in my own lane. Let everyone be whatever they were. Yeah. Kooks. We're a kook nation. And it started back at Jersey Shore. I realize it's a tidal wave of kook nation coming at us.
Dang.
And
you're not wrong.
And what it's pushed me to do, luckily, thank the Lord, is it just made me go inwardly and make myself a better person. Because if I was out there being a blind, slobbering kook, I would.
I love a slobbery
just a slobbery kook.
Dad would always be like, he's a slobbering kid.
Right.
He said that?
Yeah, because
I
real.
loved it.
You just keep it real. But I am so blessed that I recognize that if I do slobbery kook things, I have an awareness to it, and I try to correct myself. Those people might not even know they're slobbering kooks.
Do you think it's narcissism?
I think you just have to have pity for them. It's some sort of defect.
Right. They have the wrong hardwiring.
They just weren't taught. There is. All right. I can.
It's a selfishness.
Well, let's say I go to the laundromat.
Like, you need to adapt to my rules, even though I just came out here for the first time.
Right. And so let's say I'm at
which is pretty bananas.
Well, that's tough.
So you're at a laundromat?
Well, let's just as another good example. I'm at the laundromat. I know that the dryer sheets are pure poison. It's pure plastic, and it messes up the endocrine sensors. You don't want to wear anything with chemicals from a plastic, Gain, Febreze, none of that crud. That is bad news. So I just know that, and it's scientifically proven. It's dangerous for you. The plug-ins, all that stuff. Now, detergent's not that great. You want to do natural detergents. Well, if I use a detergent, I'm only using the right amount. I'm using this much for a full load, and that's a perfect amount of detergent to not make your clothes smell. It's just enough to break up the soil and dirt. Now, I'll go into the laundromat and I'll see people with a jug going filling up the laundromat with 100 times more detergent than they need. And I can't go, whoa, that's wrong. What are you doing? You're blowing it. I have to realize they were never taught. They haven't been taught anything. They haven't been taught.
Let them kook.
Yeah. And so, I watch them in the dryer and they're just throwing dryer sheets in by the handful. And I'm just like, oh my Lord.
Let them cook, Lord.
Yeah.
They know what they do.
You have to put it in his hands, and then you have to be thankful that you are around the wetlands and the nature and the creation.
Well, I never would have connected the laundromat. That's good, though.
It's a perspective thing. You have to put everything in perspective. So when we would all be guilty of acting the way that old guy who's probably pretty bummed on life because it's almost over would act when he sees a young guy who's completely clueless and doesn't know how to act. He just didn't know how to channel it because he's in that same zone that you get into where like a basketball player. He's ready to play ball. I mean, imagine if you're ready, you only get a certain amount of time to play basketball because you work and you got a family, you got all this stuff. And then a guy comes out with a blooper ball and he's bouncing it off the wall. And you're like,
with the GoPro.
you're like, we're trying to play basketball. We're trying to play a game of basketball here, sir. And now you got your blooper ball here with a hula hoop. And this isn't, we don't want this here. Take your hula hoop and your blooper ball down to court Z. Because it's not supposed to be this way, but everyone thinks any way is supposed to be every way.
Right. And I think one thing that Sterling keeps bringing up is that it's an American mentality as well. It's like this, I'm going to go to this spot. I'm going to take over.
Well, everyone in America just thinks everything's theirs, and they don't realize it's a big world and
different cultures.
It's just like other countries is very tribal and sacred, and they take care of the land. And then you come in with a GoPro, blow it up. All of a sudden, there's a resort, and then you're in Costa Rica surfing with 500 people.
I was in Costa Rica, and one spot had over 2,000 people in it in Nascar. I mean,
they're all learning to surf.
I almost lost count. 5 surf camps, just as far as I could see, were people surfing on different crafts in different ways. And I said, "Wow, look how far surfing's come." Now, around that bend, a little north from Nascar, there's another cove, and I would check that surf, and it was a dreamland. But I wouldn't paddle out because I respected those locals that lived there, that surfed that spot. I didn't even want to infringe on their spot because I see that what they're losing already with all the other, and that's what the Hawaiians are so bent out, and they're all mad at each other about everything because it got out of control. And really, you can go back and blame Elvis for all that, but that's another.
And he's from New Jersey.
That's another story. He could be from New Jersey.
I think Nashville.
No, he's Nashville.
Well, I have a question for you. Who do you think is the biggest sellout in surfing history?
Oh my God.
Who do you think is the biggest sellout?
I know. Jerry Lopez. Really? Did I get it?
Jerry Lopez has sold out from the beginning. He never stopped selling out. If you watch his documentary, you realize
I did lightning bolt.
Yeah, even his buddies were like, once he started selling out, there was no turning back.
Dang, I was kind of kidding him, right?
But he was a yin and yang. He did balance it eventually.
But he was so amazing.
He was amazing. But you're amazing when you have the best wave in the world in your backyard, just like John, just like Jamie O'Brien. I mean, you got to give these guys, they got the best wave in the world they grew up on.
Do you think he just didn't want to be poor and wanted to surf more?
Well, yeah.
Like, it might have been for the right reasons, though.
Sure. No, I mean, he saw an opportunity and took it. That's where everyone gives Ben Gravy the props, because he saw an opportunity and took it. That's what this world's at. When you see an opportunity,
but Jerry's surfing on boards. Yeah. And it's in that pipeline on a single fin, freaking on one leg.
But now Jerry Lopez soft tops are in Costco and Walmart and around everywhere. I mean, everywhere.
He's 80.
I get it. Everywhere in
And he lives in Oregon, and he probably just wanted to live in his cabin the rest of his life.
So you're allowed to sell soft tops if you're 80.
Here is my rules. Yeah. If you put so much work into surfing, if you put so much coreness into it, I think it's okay to sell out. If you put enough in.
Okay, but on the other end of that spectrum, another perspective is Skip Fry's given his entire life to surfing.
Well, he's on another level.
I'm just saying he put more in than anyone, more time in the water, more time in the design, more time in
There's no one more core than Skip Fry.
That's what I'm saying. It's so he never sold out, and at one point in time he had a stack like this of surfboard orders from around the world. And he was patiently taking one at a time and spending his time.
He gave everything to that board.
Everything. He gave it all to that one board. And, he really didn't charge as much as he could. I mean, now he charges more, but he's also in
he's 80 now.
In his late 80s. But what I'm saying is he took a pure, true core way.
He is a purist, dude.
But
he doesn't even wax his board.
I know. It could be an
He
environment.
only uses man wax.
It's like a paraffin type wax.
It's literally the hardest.
I thought you were saying
Skip took me surfing at Sunset Cliffs and let me ride one of his personal 711 Swallowtail beautiful twin fins, and it had like 3 strokes of wax on it and no leash plug.
And that wave is hard to ride. Along the cliffs.
Yeah, it was 6 feet, and I'm trying to hang with Skip, and he'd take a wave and just disappear. And I'm like, I gotta do that. And I'd catch a wave, and I'd be kicking out of that wave looking for him, and he'd be on the next wave riding away. I'm like, wow. Yeah, it was a wow.
But it kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Like, people are different.
Different
So
perspective.
Jerry,
Everyone's different.
yeah,
No.
That's why I think the pendulum of
But
life
does
has
Jerry's heart hurt, do you think?
I don't think so.
I think Skip
Jerry's
is riding off into the core Lord heavens.
I think you know what. Here's the deal. Jerry's enjoying being Jerry. Skip's enjoying being Skip. Ben's enjoying being Ben. We're enjoying being us. The peace has to come. The pendulum of peace has to come back.
When I was talking about there's an enlightenment in surfing,
Yes.
I don't know, dude. I feel like Skip is going off in a different heaven
He
of
touched.
pureness.
He touched
He didn't take he resisted the world. He could have sold out,
Yeah.
and he said no. I'd rather just shape my boards, live with my wife in San Diego on the beach, and I
Pure.
love Jesus,
Yep.
and this is it.
Yeah.
I don't need to be rich. He has nothing. He still walks 1 mile every day on the beach, and he picks up trash. He still does that.
What a sweet.
And then
man.
he shapes a board for $5,000.
Yeah.
And then he surfs, and like he has this crew that he's really old now,
Yeah.
and he has to be helped to surf now.
Well, he's got a bunch of Japanese girls that massage him.
Oh, he's got chicks everywhere. man.
But the cool
Does
part,
Jerry have chicks?
he might.
I don't think he does.
Jerry has yoga groupies because he's a
really?
guru. I mean, when I saw
my
Jerry in Bali and he had like 380 people sign up for his class and they were all on the hillside, I went, "You've reached guru."
These guys are sound like
if
they're
you get
killing it
if
in
you get
different ways.
if you get 380 people paying
I mean,
300
He's probably crushing the game.
380 people
Because
paying
yoga chicks are all messed up.
yeah, they're whacked. Nasara has 3 yoga.
They all don't have dads.
Nasara has three different yoga
You know
institutes,
that though.
and one of the yoga institutes is like a special certificate. Oh, so the girls come from around the world to get this special yoga certificate.
Oh my god, that's genius. We got to do that in surfing.
You should go to Nasara. They're all yoga stancing and trying to surf. It's hilarious
it's
and
amazing.
fighting over who has the freshest orange juice. It's. I'm paying $15 for my orange juice. Mine's from the other side of the hill where they have the oranges and they're great.
So these guys are killing it in their own way.
We gotta.
They lived
we
it-
gotta pick our game.
They live
out
their
there.
life.
Wow.
So
What?
who else is in your top 10 of sellouts? Am I in there?
No.
Well, Dad told me, he's like, I don't like funny in surfing. I was like, but
don't
I'm
like-
funny.
He said, "I don't like funny in surfing."
Well,
He was serious.
Yeah, he was scary.
He was a serious.
I asked you if you think I'm a sellout because I feel like when I was doing the comedy stuff at first, y'all were kind of like, dude, Sterling's like
He's so
kind of turning gay.
Yeah.
Because I was like Billabong, like I was in it.
Well,
I was doing all the right
but
things,
see-
and then all of a sudden I wore a Speedo, and y'all were like, what's going on?
The coconuts and the butts and all that. That was in the tail.
You did
But
coconut butt?
here's the deal. On the other
Coconuts in the butt.
on the other side, just like Jerry, you're putting in so much work with your. I mean, if you told everyone what you do to work out, how strenuous you work out, and how strenuous you do everything. You do everything with a lot of, I call it razor mentality. I mean, you're focused on.
I'm kind of gnarly.
Kind of gnarly. I mean, I can't hang with you now that you've recovered from your brain injury and you went all in on repairing your body and you've pushed your surfing back to a level that's great. I mean, I don't know how old you are now.
38.
38. That's a good year. What, Julian, 38?
Well, you kind of realize, like, I've got limited time to be able to surf this good, and there's nothing more valuable.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was over for me.
It's precious.
It is precious. I thought it was over at 41. Now I'm 51. And it's still going. So I'm counting more blessings. I'm like, man, I'm still going. And I've been through a lot of tragedies myself. But I don't make it
I
about
feel
me.
like Ben Gravy kind of saved me.
How old is Ben Gravy?
Well, I feel like he kind of saved me because y'all thought I was pretty gay. Because I was being like a little too silly.
All right, I'm not using the word gay anymore. We can use goober. Maybe
I was
goobery.
being a little too.
Soft. Start over.
Well, okay.
You felt like you were looked at as a goober.
Well, at 22, I was on Billabong. I was doing it all. I was doing all the right things. And then I was getting a little
Goobery.
on the tour. You started doing drugs.
no.
The tour's a party.
No. I was as core as it gets. I did all the right things. I climbed all the ladders.
Oh, you won J-Bag trials.
I won J-Bay trials. I surfed against Kelly. I was
Yeah.
with Andy. I traveling with
Yeah,
Andy.
you were Andy's bro.
And then I was posting videos of me in Speedos
And making fun of people.
and making fun of Kelly.
And Kelly, and then that.
Y'all thought I was crazy.
I thought you were crazy. In fact, Surfer Magazine called me for an interview. And I said, I don't know what he's doing. I said, if it was me, I wouldn't do what he's doing. I said, you don't disrespect.
I remember this. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they wrote up of me and Dad were against everything you were doing.
Wait, you guys had to comment about you making fun of Kelly?
Well, they did an interview.
Right
on
as
me.
Surfer Magazine was coming to an end, magazines were coming in.
Yeah.
Sterling was getting a lot of press on his new look on surfing, the breaking the mold of this is how you have to do it.
Well,
So-
comedy was like voodoo.
Yeah,
in surfing.
right?
Like a
It
sin.
was only cool,
But it was making me rebel more.
right.
Because it was like, no, Sterling, you can't be funny. And I was like, I'm going to bump it up a notch.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was this kind of, I was rebelling because
You exploded.
I'm a comedian. I
Right.
can't change that about me. And that's what drove me nuts. Like, I felt like y'all wanted me to not be me.
We wanted you to play the role, and you played the role until you exploded.
Yeah, I couldn't
Wow.
do it
You said,
anymore.
you said, all right, I've been the competition guy, and now I'm going to be what I want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you see through it, but looking back, you get a better perspective of, oh, okay,
I feel now it's like y'all understand it now.
yeah.
Because Ben Gravy came and took that heat away from me.
True. He being
Because
great-
I was still shredding as hard as I could. It wasn't like I stopped surfing.
Right.
I
Right.
put them together. I was like, no, we can make a magic
Yeah.
world.
a different agenda.
Like we can have fun and be gnarly.
But I think it was also your creative desire because you like to create and do funny stuff like the skits we did.
Well,
with
yeah, I
Aki,
just had to, like,
the director's mind.
But do you think I gave you the Centaur idea? Do you remember that?
I mean, maybe. I don't
okay,
know.
I was babysitting you,
Well, all right, let's talk about it.
and I'd love to scare you and Abby.
Did you wear it?
No.
You wore the Centaur
I
costume?
drew a picture of one, and I told you that they were outside in the woods, and you were so scared to look out the window.
I remember.
You do remember that?
Well,
you remember I have the drawing somewhere,
Well, okay.
but I did the face like almost like a lion, like it was like a centaur lion face, and it was I could draw, you could draw, and I drew the scariest picture ever, and you were like 4 or 5. You're like, oh, they're outside. I'm like, and we lived in
No
the
wonder I'm traumatized.
yeah, we lived in the woods.
Right. I know.
Now it's
lived
all
in-
making sense.
lived
in-
I'm like, why was I so scared at night? And you're
lived in-
drawing me pictures. There's centaurs out there.
Dude, I drew a picture of a wolf. Do you remember that? A wolf with
No,
fangs?
I don't remember. I remember seeing it.
And I put it over your bed. Every night you went to bed until finally Mom realized, what's wrong with you? And she looks up and there's this blood wolf.
So you're 4 or 5. You're very impressionable. Your
Yeah.
brother.
My imagination.
And I told him centaurs were all in the swamps around us. And we would hear like raccoons would hit our
Oh,
house.
yeah.
And
Well, there was bears.
there was bears. There was all kind of weird fights, dog fights. And then, what's that one? I said, well,
And
like
our
a
freaking
alligator.
dog was possessed.
The alligator's in the wetlands again.
Our dog Aslan would chain up like a lion.
Yeah, we had a
I'd
giant,
hear him downstairs. "Ah!"
well, we had a giant chow.
Yeah.
He was a monster chow. And
What I was asking was going back to you asking if your family thought you were a sellout. You were a gravy.
Was I the gravy of the Davy?
Well, we did think you were blowing it. We're like, he's blowing it. He's getting off track. He's not even sticking to the course. There's an agenda. There's a program. This is how you
Right.
rise to the top.
Right.
He'll never have a wetsuit sponsor or a shoe line if he keeps this up.
Right. And I remember
But
you
then I
telling
blew up.
Well, he blew up, and so did Ben Gravy. Ba-boom.
But I
those
didn't
are
have to write a
words.
soft top.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. We're looking at everything from 2 different
Then I'm-
perspectives
I'm-
today.
Right,
Jerry
right.
Lopez, Skip Fry, Sterling Spencer, Ben Gravy. We're all just different.
Right.
And we all need to learn love, and we don't need to be
Love.
localized haters. Reality check of
Right.
people can say whatever they want, and it's not up to what they say, it's how you take
Right.
it. And at the same time, everyone wanted to start doing things out of what was the plan, which was learn to surf on a good surfboard and love fins and rails and tails and the magic of every wave. And all of a sudden they were like, we're going to stamp pineapples on a bunch of things from China and everyone's going to buy them. And I was like,
You know what I saw? So when I when I was at that fork in the road, I saw so many core lords fade away.
Yeah, they were dying off.
I remember Mick Campbell. He was my hero. Like he was a real life leprechaun, and he would just beat people. Because when I did the QS, I surfed against him. I'm like, dude, this guy is as real as it gets. But I watched. He should be in some kind of core heaven where we still celebrate him. And I watched these core lords just disappear.
Yeah.
And when I was working with the internet, I realized if you don't adapt to the internet, you will die.
Mm.
And I was kind of at this stage. I was like, dude, if you don't use the internet, you're like, I wanted to pro surf as long as I could. And I'm like, if you don't adapt, you will die.
Yeah.
And then I went on a trip with Donovan, and he was
getting into it.
He was like, dude, if
He was making
this
shirts.
is it.
He was selling shirts to Japan.
Oh,
or
he was
something.
so ahead of his time.
Yeah.
And he was telling me, he's like, dude, Sterling, put everything on the internet.
And he
don't listen to anyone.
Right.
Like, get on the internet. I promise you. And then,
And he was doing his own thing.
oh yeah, he taught me so much. He was such an entrepreneur.
He was a good guy.
Like, that's where I was like, well, I'm a comedian and I'm gonna do it all.
Yeah.
And I don't care.
Yeah.
Like I want to feel it all. It's like,
I think Donovan showed you the way. I think he held.
for sure.
He held the light up for you. And
oh no.
And Donovan said, "Look, I danced to my own beat." I remember Scott Bouchard hated Donovan because Donovan wouldn't.
Well, that's the thing. It's like,
there was beef. Scott Bouchard was the Billabong guy. He followed the rules. He did the contest. He waited in line for his turn, and then he saw Donovan Frankenberg come along with a guitar in his back, going, "Hey, whatever you want, bro." And that freaked Scott Bouchard out.
Yeah.
And then they both had
and
to
he
ride
crushed
for.
it.
They both had to ride for Billabong. Yeah. Now, but
But-
Scott's a great sales rep, and he's been a lifelong hard worker in the surf industry, and he found his path. So
What I learned through Donovan and lots of the elders, Taylor Steele, it's like surfing is always number one though. Like Donovan was a really good surfer.
he had style.
He had good style. He was a really good surfer. And I feel like what I said earlier, it's like if you put what you put in, you can sell. It's like you have to be half kook, half core.
Mm.
If you really want to ride off into the sunset.
Yeah.
So that's to me what we're losing though.
Mm.
It's gone too kook.
It's gone
Like-
it's a blend. The global
It's too
establishment.
kook.
Yeah.
We can't let go of our core because like our ancestors, like Tom Curran, like to me styles are so important. Like it was everything, and it's still everything. I think
It's the same in music.
it's the same in music.
If you're a good style and you got good quality upbringing in music, you're going to produce good music. But if you just come along and you want to be a one-hit wonder,
Well, like Elton John
he's the original.
is there. He made some of the most amazing music, and he's in fur coats, hanging out with his boyfriends, dude.
Well, there was two ahead of him, Liberace and Little Richard. Those guys are beyond.
Oh my! Are you kidding me? There's
best.
no one more amazing than freaking.
One time there's a show with Liberace and Little Richard on it. Oh my God, you got to find that clip. It's incredible.
Where my line is at, half kook,
Right.
half core. You can't go full kook, and that's a full sellout.
Right.
And you'll cry at night. No, I think you'll cry at night.
Deep down.
And Jerry, half of his life was core, and half of it he sold out. And he's the yin and yang. He always talks about the yin and yang in life.
Mm.
That's why he can sleep at night. Because he knows no one stood in a pipe barrel on a single fin on 1 foot.
Yeah.
It's like he can sleep at night. He's like, I don't care that I sold out.
Yeah.
Mm.
You do
Because
stuff,
you didn't do that.
right.
You're telling me I'm a sellout. You didn't stand in a 10-foot pipeline on one leg on a single fin that I shaped.
Dang.
So I feel like there is balance.
There's balance. And I keep myself in check. That's what I think. Everyone should check themselves
Yeah.
and look in the mirror and not think of themselves too highly, I guess.
Mm.
That your opinion is above all.
that it's just about you at all. I don't, it's just you should. That's the whole. I think one of the golden rules is treat others as you would treat yourself.
You know what story I love?
Let's hear it.
I remember I was in California at Huntington Beach, and you somehow are with like Thailand's prince, his daughter, and he was going to give you a Thai massage that he only gave kings.
I was dating a famous French artist's daughter, and I met her at the U.S. Open. I went out to compete and served in the U.S. Open. They had brought the first Thai priest into America. There was only 3, and there was a Tai Chi priest and massage priest. I don't know what that means, but and this is the 90s.
Thailand massage therapy was like its own religion.
And there was only 3 that have reached this level of.
They had giant temples
massage priests. And anyway, so the French girlfriend's father, famous artist father, got him to give me a massage, and I didn't know what to expect. It was like my first.
This is a big deal. It was because no one in America's gotten.
It was a big deal to me. I never even had a massage. I never had a man.
You went straight to the top of massages.
I went straight to Thai priest massage, step 1. And so he lays me on my side, and he just only works right here on the rib cage, and it's elbows and knees and
it's kind of gnarly.
And so I'm like, oh my Lord, like when do you get to the muscles? Like I didn't think there was any muscles here, And so it's just bone, bone, bone. And I was like, and it's like, this was such a respectful thing to get. So I'm like holding my breath and hanging on. And
you're like, this is the worst thing ever.
It felt like the worst torture I've ever been through. And then he got way up under my armpit and he's just grinding and pushing as hard as he can. And I'm just about to blow up.
All for this girl.
And then it felt like my rib cage just opened up like that. My whole side. I was like, and I was just barely hanging on to breath. And my body, I felt like my body was split open and like all these weird visions were coming in and out. And I'm like, and so whatever he did, yanked my arm, snapped me back in the rally and flipped me over and then did the other side. And I was like, here we go again. So he gets all the way up to the armpit and I couldn't take it anymore. I finally just went, I quit, like that.
Stop.
And he swung his arm as hard as he could with his knuckles sticking out and hit me square in between the eyes.
What?
And knocked me out. And I was like, and I woke up and he was so disgusted with me. He was just looking at me like, and I was like, I'm sorry. I tried to keep it together.
Why
and because I bailed out of the massage.
Oh, and that's
I guess I was going for enlightenment number 2, level 2, and I didn't make it. So he punched me and
brought you down.
And he says, "You think too much," and walked away. And I went, "Okay, thank you."
Maybe he was just mad you were dating his daughter.
No, it was his artist friend's daughter, the French girl. She was beautiful. But anyway. So I'm getting out of the shower, and there's mirrors all over this. It was William Randolph Hearst's girlfriend's mansion. It's in West Hollywood. Jeez. They had like mirrors all over everywhere in the elevator. And I'm walking by, and I'm like, oh, and I see like all this red stuff, and I was like, oh, and I walk up to the mirror, and I'm looking, and you remember this? I'm looking in the mirror, and I just broken blood vessels everywhere. All that. And I'm like, oh, no, because it was just red. And so I'm looking, and I keep looking, and I keep looking, and I see a hillside and another hillside, and these buffalo, and this like Genghis Khan warrior sitting on a buffalo, all in blood vessels, all over on my rib cage. And I'm like looking at this blood vessel tattoo, like, oh, what in the what? Yeah, he did this full artist scape on my ribs.
Wait a minute.
Paulie's like, I want to be on your ribs. Tattoo my face.
So some guy blood vessel tattooed you?
Not some guy.
Oh, not
a
some
Thai
guy.
priest.
The first Tai Chi priest massage master in America. And I was his.
And they came on a boat.
Well, they don't touch people from America. They were like, but because the French artist was so famous and he
loved you because of his daughter.
The French artist loved me because I was an American surfer that was probably going to take his French daughter around the world on the tour. Maybe saw potential in me. I think Bruce Irons knocked me out the third heat or something. We were in the young scrappy division.
Really? Wow.
So
you're telling me.
So Bruce went that way and you got a Thai massage.
Bruce was getting carried around by the Vulcan crew. We love you. We
Take
love
bong rips.
do
Take
more.
bong rips.
We
Drink more weed.
Kick. And I was like in La La Land, a French dream girl.
Wow.
I was sitting on my truck waiting for her to waiting for them to show up, and this black guy comes walking by, and he goes, "You in the contest?" I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh, cool." And he holds out this card. He goes, "I work for Dr. Scholl's. And we got a booth, and we're gonna be setting up shoe stuff. And we'd love to sponsor some surfers. And is there any way I can see your foot?" And I was like, "Sure." I'm sitting on the back of the truck. I'm like, "Check my foot out." And so he's looking at my foot. He's like, "Oh yeah, slender and neat." And "Oh yeah," and he's pursing like this. I'm like, "Yeah, cool. Huh? You like it?" He goes, "Yeah." I think we can hook you up. And then he just starts going and like licking the bottom of my foot. And I was like, "Ah!" And I like kick him in the face.
He tricked you.
I got foot raped. Ah! I went running away, stepping on gravel, going, "My feet were molested."
So he sucked your
That's
feet
probably,
off?
and then I had to surf a heat, and I was so shooken up. I remember I was standing on the pier, and everywhere I looked in the crowd, because the U.S. Open had tons of people, I just saw weirdos like staring at me and looking at me, and I was like, I've been foot molested, and I'm like looking around.
Oh my
Did anyone see me get licked? My foot licked by a black man in the parking lot? No, he was going at it like. I was like,
this isn't gonna last long.
yeah, like take it while I can. I mean, the way he was.
How long did it take?
I
for
saw
you?
him salivating as he was rubbing the bottom of my foot, and I was like, "Man, this is getting weird." But he showed me his card. He works for Dr. Scholl's. I mean, come on, you can't go wrong with Dr. Scholl's. And at that point, if he would have said, "We've got a Sanook shoe for you. All you have to do is sign right here. You see."
Do you think that's what happened to Ben Gray?
He got foot loved. Ben acts like, see, and that's the gimmick. He acts like, "Oh, I didn't even know you guys were going to make me a shoe. Oh, I just got the phone call." I was like, "You knew it. Your agent told you 3 months ago you're getting a shoe."
You got your foot sucked off
He's
on
been-
the beach at Huntington Beach.
He's been working that 15% deal for your agent. You know it.
How did
So-
we get to the
But
thing?
but I know Ben is true. I see it. He's sincere, and he does want to surf against us. He wants to be on the show, and we will love him.
wait,
and we will crush this, and it won't be bad.
Wait.
It will be good. We're not going to keep this beef going. I'm not going to see him at the trade show one day, and it comes to fisticuffs.
He's cool.
Yeah, we're all cool.
Wait. Back to the feet sucking.
The toe licking or the rib rubbing? The pillow biting or the alien probing? Which way are we going here?
How do we land this UFO?
So your feet got chowed down
They
by
got
a black dude
slobbered.
before
long did
your
you-
heat
Yeah,
at the U.S. Open.
the last thing
between
the
Thai priest massage
Yeah,
is
the last thing I saw was his tongue sticking between my big toe and my little toe.
Oh.
And that's all I saw before my heat. Like I was just looking at the waves.
Did you lose?
Yeah, I lost.
How long did you let him do it?
Until I felt his
honest.
face go. I mean, I saw him coming in and I thought, oh,
10
he's,
seconds?
I'm like, oh, he's getting like a close
How
up
many
look.
seconds he got in?
I would say 4.5 seconds, 3 to 4 seconds of
Jeez.
pure licking, slobbery tongue on my bottom of my foot. It was a weird sensation. It was tickly.
You're like, oh, it's kind
It was new. I never felt anything that wonderful for a second. And then
it
I
kind of
went,
tricked you.
it was trick. And man, his big fat lips were all licking around it. I was like, goodness gracious.
I can't do it.
So did you kick him?
I kicked him.
Did he run off?
Yeah, he ran off.
He probably loved it.
And I went looking for the Dr. Scholl's booth. I was like, no Dr. Scholl's booth. I was like, that guy, man, I don't.
There's not even a Scholl's booth. I'm not even getting my new sneaker.
I was like,
Dude.
where's my shoe model?
I'm not
All
even
right.
getting my foot licked model.
That was a good way to land this.
All right, alien love.
All right.
Yancy, thanks for coming on again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad.
Blew our minds.
From the top, Ben, we're here to have a peace offering.
Yeah, we love
Uh,
Should we pray for him?
All
right
the
now?
local people that are mad about locals, we want you to look at it a different perspective. We don't know where that guy's at in his life. He could have prostate cancer. And the kid probably, maybe he had seen him before riding a unicycle with no seat on it. We don't know we don't know all the dynamics of that, what
True.
happened.
Well, we don't understand Gen Zers' brains have been taken.
They've been taken, and I think
On-
it's
by
the
TikTok.
I think it's the fungus, and I think it's the frequencies. Fungus and frequencies
Frequencies.
are really taking over the planet, and I want everyone to be aware of it. And I also
you
want
think
y'all to
that-
support the wetlands.
Do you think that Dr. Scholl's guy hardwired your foot?
No, but I do
With his
think that
tongue?
there's an awakening to realize that some shoes are bad for you.
On that note, roll the music.
Roll that beautiful barefoot
Oh.
footage.
I gotta-
Should we do a reenactment?
How's it? Thank you for watching Pinch My Salt, the hit podcast of the world's #1 surfer, Sterling Spencer. You know the rules. Subscribe and tickle that like button. Pinch My Salt.
I ripped my asshole. I ripped this. What's this called? This up here.
Clavicle?
No, the rotator cuff. Throwing darts in Hawaii, and I had to leave Hawaii 2 months early because I had a ripped rotator cuff.
All right, let's see it. Don't rope it. Oh, I thought he hit the other board.
How about the shirt?
Oh, yeah, dog.